Hey, I'm Rebecca Paisley, an Ayurvedic-based hormone coach helping you overcome your PMS and PMDD symptoms naturally using the wisdom of Ayurveda. And I just wanted to hop on here today and go over how stress and lifestyle habits have a huge impact on our hormones, on how we feel throughout our cycle. Just go over the effects you might be experiencing due to stress and lifestyle, and the ways to overcome those problems using Ayurveda. And for those of you that don't know, Ayurveda is a 4,000-year-old medical system out of India that's been used to heal all sorts of ailments using diet, lifestyle, and herbs. And so that is what I'm going to share with you today. So first, we're going to cover stress. If you are chronically stressed, living in fight or flight, worried about the next thing, full of anxiety, you're going to be tired because your brain is just going. The hamster is always running on the wheel and he's never stopping to take a rest. And so you're going to feel that fatigue. And then you might also experience some weight gain, especially in your abdomen area, because when you're stressed, your cortisol is super increased, and this means you're holding on to everything and it's not getting pushed through the body properly, and so you might have weight gain happen. You're definitely going to notice mood swings and be more agitated, be more anxious, maybe be dealing with depression, because the stress coming into your life, whatever it is, whether it's appointments or relationships or family or work or friends, that stress is weighing down on you. So at a moment's notice, you're under so much pressure, you're just gonna snap, or you're gonna go lay in bed, or you're gonna go hide under the covers and not wanna come out because it's just so much to deal with. And lastly, the thing that shows up when you're stressed is your periods start to get irregular. Maybe you miss a period, maybe they're late. This can be caused from the stress of traveling, the stress of moving, the stress of a new job, the stress of anything. Your period won't happen because it's natural for our bodies when we're in a chronic state of stress to shut down the reproductive organs. Because you're so stressed out, your body and nature know it's not safe for you to reproduce at this time. So until we get the stress levels down and handled and put in techniques to properly handle the stress, those cycles are going to continue to be irregular or not show up because your body is not feeling safe enough to release the egg and allow for a cycle to come, because the ultimate goal of your cycle is fertility and to have a baby. And if you're not feeling safe and you're stressed, that's not an option that is available because the stress is too much. So we have to get rid of the stress first. And then when it comes to your lifestyle, if you're constantly eating processed frozen junk food, then your body is gonna be showing the processed frozen junk food in its outer features, physically, mentally, spiritually. We have to give our bodies the foods that it needs, nice, yummy, whole foods, fresh cooked, that are correct for your unique body type. In Ayurveda, we call that a dosha. And it's just a mix of the 5 elements and what your unique makeup is. And you need to eat based on that so that you can keep everything in balance. And besides eating, we also need to make sure we're getting sleep. And sometimes when we're chronically stressed, we're not sleeping because we're laying in bed worrying about the next thing on our to-do list. And so we have to get sleep so that we can have the growth hormones come in and do tissue repair and damage control and clean everything up. And if you're not getting that, your body's going to feel depleted, you're going to wake up tired, which only further snowballs the fatigue and the stress and the I'm not doing enough feelings, which nobody wants. And then you also need to be moving your body during the day. So get enough sleep, eat the right foods, move your body. But don't move your body so much that you overexert yourself. There's no reason to spend 3 hours at the gym 7 days a week. Go enjoy some gentle yoga 3 times a week, go on a walk after work, get in nature. All of these things will help to balance your system, or maybe go on a walk first thing in the morning, especially if you're having trouble sleeping, because this will start to sync your body up into its natural circadian rhythm, and then it'll get used to, oh, this is when we wake up, okay, sun's going down, this is when we go to sleep. And so that's really key. And so some of the things Ayurveda recommends to manage stress and make better lifestyle choices is, one, to learn about your dosha, which is your unique body type. And if you haven't done this yet, I invite you to take my free quiz. I'll drop it in the video description for you so that you can learn what element is most dominant in you. And then also you need to eat to support those elements, because let's say for instance, in my body, I have a lot of fire. And so fire is hot, it's spicy, it's wants to get things done and do things. So the thing I'm always struggling with is, how do I slow down? How do I avoid the heat? How do I cool off? And so you do things like eating cooling foods, cilantro, cucumbers, pomegranates, coconuts, asparagus, zucchini. All these things will cool the body down. Not an ice cold beverage necessarily, but the cooling properties in the food, or going for a swim, or spending time outside in nature. All of these things will calm the fire down in me, and that's something I have to always incorporate into my life, because if I don't, that fire is going to get out of hand, because it takes up most of what I'm made of. And so whatever you're made of most is what you're going to be constantly trying to balance in your body. And that's why we need to eat the right foods for the elements that are dominant in us. Nobody's going to be exactly the same, so take the quiz. It's down below in the description. And then also you want to include mindful movement, so doing yoga, tai chi, qigong, any kind of gentle movement that connects the mind and the body together, so that we're more in sync of what's going on with us internally, is going to be beneficial. Because if you pause and take a yoga class or a tai chi class, you're going to realize all the thoughts that are going on in your head and be like, holy moly, I am stressed. Like, there is way too much up there. And during that hour-long class, you can take that stuff and set it over here and let it be, and just be in your body. Now, it's not saying this stuff's not important, but you don't need to be carrying it around all of the time because it just is adding more stress into your life. And then of course you want to get rest and sleep. And so having a good bedtime routine, turning your phones and your TVs off an hour before bed, all those blue lights do is prevent the production of melatonin, which you need to go to sleep. So turn off the lights, put on some soothing music. You could take a hot bath and then hop into bed and go to bed. And then more on the topic of managing stress using Ayurveda is, there's a couple tools. You can meditate. So meditating first thing in the morning, you can meditate right before bed. That meditation practice, again, is going to show you what's jumbled up in your head, help you release it, and come back to, this is me being, this is all I have. And all of these other things, yes, they matter to an extent, but they're not going, they don't need to stress you out to the point where your body's no longer functioning physically and mentally as it should be. And also you can do pranayama, which is breathing exercises. So there's a whole bunch of different breathing exercises you can choose from. If you peruse my YouTube channel, you'll find a couple meditations, breathing exercises, yoga classes to take. And then if meditation and breathing exercises aren't your thing, go sit outside and soak up the moonlight with a cup of hot tea and just kick your feet up and just focus on the stars. Or if it's during the day, focus on the sounds of the birds or the cars passing wherever you live. and do all of these things. And it's a lot to start doing right at the beginning, but start with one thing. My number one recommendation is to find out your unique body type, because by doing this, you'll be able to see what you need to avoid and what you need to favor to start creating balance. And so that is the best thing for you to do when you're trying to balance your cycles, is start to understand the 5 elements that you're made of and which one of those 5 elements is the most dominant in your chart, because that will show you the way. Because I know when I found out, I was like, holy shit, I literally jam-pack my schedule. I go to all the hot yoga classes, I go sit in the sauna, I eat all the spicy foods. I was doing everything to make it worse. And so as soon as I started cutting those things out and adding all the cooling activities, things just started to completely shift over. And it was like, okay, I know how to rest, and I know how to say no and have some boundaries with my things, because this is who I am uniquely and I have to honor that. And once you learn how to honor your unique physical makeup, and then you can really start to let the stress go and live a lifestyle that is balancing for your menstrual cycle, and start waving bye-bye to all the craziness that your cycle brings. If you want to learn more about your body type after you take the free quiz, feel free to send me a message. You can find me on Instagram or Facebook, Rebecca__Paisley, and you can always just go to my website and submit a contact form. I'm here to be of service to you and offer my guidance in how to balance your cycle naturally using diet, lifestyle, and herbs.